What is going on, fellow Wastelanders? Shock Radio here. Today I have a very interesting video where we're going to discuss what I feel might be the worst relic in CROSSOUT, and that is the Relic cannon, the Typhoon. To start, I just want to say this video is not meant to throw shade at anyone, including tree burgers. There's 3 facts about tree burgers. He really loved his Typhoons, he really hated dogs, and he was probably one of the greatest CROSSOUT content creators on YouTube and Twitch. So I just want to start by saying that mad respect to tree burgers. We all just know Typhoon was his favorite weapon, and it is probably the worst weapon of all the relics right now. So we can see that this is the worst relic simply by looking at the price. You'll notice Scorpions 42, Porks 42,000, Mastodons 38, 36,000, Typhoons 28,000 coin. So generally speaking, market price will indicate how good something is. If people don't want it, they're not gonna buy it. If they don't want it, it's probably because it's either bad or it's cheap in a pack. So they bought a half off pack and they have it. You can't get relics in packs, alright? So let's compare the Typhoon with some of its predecessors. And this one kind of blew my mind when I did a test and I realized it. But all the other cannons basically do more damage than the Typhoon. So we'll start just by checking the damage of 2 Typhoons. This is 2 Typhoons with a purple flywheel for added reload. There's no cabin bonus. I'm not using stone def or anything like that. So it should be pretty cut and dry. Will I get 2 shots on it? No. So 1071. Now this was mind blowing, alright? I've been using triple executioner build, and I found that triple executioner actually does more damage than double Typhoons. Now I know I'm using 3 cannons on this one. However, you cannot use 3 Typhoons on a build, but it is very common to use triple executioners, okay? So that is why I'm comparing them. They're not the same energy cost, but they are the same type of straightforward cannon, okay? So I'm going to use the Omnibox, but I'm not going to use the perk, so we're not going to have the added reload. Let's see what we can get out of it. $13.14. So this is probably even worse than my Firebug versus Draco comparison, because this is literally like I'm comparing remedies to Firebugs. This is purple weapons that are doing more damage than the Relic version. Maybe this is actually a positive thing for a lot of people out there, because this should give you hope that you don't need relics to actually dish out the damage, okay? There's a lot of benefits to having relics, but a lot of times relics are a bit overrated. They're really for people that either A, have been playing a really long time and grinded them out, or B, they paid some money and got some relics, okay? So this is a very positive thing, okay? We can all be very happy using purple weapons because they're on par with relics, okay? So we know now that triple executioners out DPS Typhoons. So why the heck would anyone ever use Typhoons? Well, maybe it's the perk. Let's take a look at what the perk does. Hitting an enemy slows down its reload speed and increases its weapon heating speed by 40%. That's pretty cool. But that's not that good. And I just want to take a second to read that description. It says, this Steppenwolf project is the next step towards increasing weapon power and effective range. A direct hit with a Typhoon is a death sentence for any enemy. That is a lie. That is a lie. You're not killing anything with a Typhoon. I'm sorry. You might as well just go use a purple executioner. Alright? So, cool. Let's compare more like things, right? I just compared a purple with a relic, and the purple does more damage. Well, what about a Mastodon? What would a Mastodon do compared to a Typhoon? I wonder. And the Mastodon has a much better perk. The Mastodon heats up the target as well. So not only does it do a lot of damage, but it heats up the target for your team. Alright? So we had 1071 for a dual Typhoon. Now I checked this build, it has a purple flywheel as well. It's on a Bastion, so there's nothing special as far as the damage or the reload goes. It should be the same as the Typhoon and the Executioner build. So let's take a quick peek. On one shot, we're almost at the damage of a Typhoon. So we're about 60% more damage using Mastodons, and the Mastodons also heat up the target. So no one in their right mind would want to use a Typhoon over a Mastodon, unless they're like me, and they're poor, and they can't afford Mastodons, so they get the cheapest Relic, which is totally what I do. This is just, it's insane. Purple cannons out DPS it, and the other Relic cannon not only out DPSs it, but has a much better perk. That is crazy to me. And let's see if I had any other builds that I wanted to compare it to. Ah, the Tsunami. So the Tsunami is an interesting one. It is also a pretty bad weapon. If you look at the cost, it's only 4,000 coin, 6,000 coin. On PlayStation, generally speaking, good legendaries go between 6,000 and 7,000 coin, which is almost at 6,000. That's actually not too bad, but I got mine for 4,700 not too long ago. So the Typhoon is going up, but I hear that the Typhoon, or the Tsunami, I mean, is actually better than the Typhoon because of its something about it. It pierces through armor, but that's the Executioner though, I believe. The Tsunami has a really good perk for that charge up, but it's pretty hard to get the charge on a hover. So the Tsunami almost does as much as a Typhoon. It's kind of sad, but the triple Executioner still does more than a Tsunami and a Typhoon. And I will also say that the triple Executioner weapons have a much better perk. The Executioner fires armor-piercing projectiles, exploding after piercing 2 pins of armored car structure. Everyone who is building kind of meta builds uses a lot of spaced armor. The Executioner is a great weapon to pierce through that spaced armor. So it's kind of insane to me, but it's also, it gives players hope that they can be competitive even with purple weapons versus their Relic counterparts. So that's kind of wraps up my video. I don't really have much more to add to it. Again, I want to just shout out Treeburgers and give respect to him as the great content creator he is. There was no harm, no foul here. And I hope maybe CROSSOUT does something to help balance out Typhoons and make them in a little bit more of a viable state. I don't like seeing any Relic do that poorly. I think we all spend too much time and in some cases too much money to grind out Relics for them to actually be worse than their counterparts. I mean, maybe for it to be like slightly better would be good, you know, not like, you don't need Relics to be super broken OP, but you should definitely have some sort of incentive to use this expensive of a weapon. So Tarjum, if you're watching this video, which I know you'll never watch any of my videos, but if you are, show the Typhoon some love. Let's get Treeburgers back in the game. I appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe for more controversial, entertaining, and informative content, and I'll see you guys out there in the wasteland.